You pull the receipt out of your golf bag. It's from 3 months ago. A sleeve of premium golf balls, $54. You remember the feeling, the quiet hope that maybe this time the ball would do something the $30 sleeve couldn't. You shot 94 that day, same as always. Here's what nobody at the pro shop counter tells you. The design of a golf ball hasn't changed in any meaningful way since the early 2000s. The dimple pattern, the core compression, the cover material, the patents that matter expired years ago, but the price has tripled. Let's start with the assumption most golfers carry. You believe a $100 dozen balls performs measurably better than a $40 dozen. You believe the marketing, 4-piece construction, urethane cover, high-energy speed core, translates into a lower score. You believe the pros play these balls, so you should too. The data says otherwise. MyGolfSpy, an independent equipment testing site, ran a blind test across 25 golfers with handicaps from 4 to 22. They used a launch monitor. They hit premium balls, mid-range balls, and value balls. The result, 0 golfers gained more than 1/10 of a stroke per round, switching from a $35 dozen to a $54 dozen. Most gained nothing. Some lost distance because the premium ball spins more, and for a golfer with a slice, more spin means more curve into the trees. Here's the first crack in the premise. The premium ball is engineered for swing speeds above 105 miles per hour. That's the average swing speed on the PGA Tour. The average male golfer swings at 87 miles per hour. At that speed, the 4-piece construction never fully compresses. You are paying for a technology your body cannot activate. Pause there and let that land. If you've ever felt the quiet pinch at the register, you already know the system is working. Subscribe to keep uncovering these numbers. We're only at the first layer, and the course pricing will surprise you even more. In the comments, type 87 if your swing speed is below 105 and you've chased the same ball as the pros. Now, stack 3 more data points. First, Titleist, Callaway, and TaylorMade together control roughly 70% of the premium golf ball market in North America. Their R&D budgets are massive, but the marginal cost to manufacture a Pro V1 versus a value ball is approximately $2.30. That's a 2,200% markup. Second, a 2022 study from Golf Datatech showed that the average golfer loses 2 to 3 balls per round. At $54 per dozen, each lost ball costs $4.50. Over 20 rounds, that's $270 in lost golf balls alone. Not lost to bad shots, lost to the assumption that expensive balls are worth it. Third, the patent for the urethane cover, the signature feature of premium balls, was filed by an engineer named Thomas Kennedy in 1998. It expired in 2018. Today, any manufacturer can produce a urethane-covered ball. The differentiation is branding, not innovation. Here's the mechanism. Golf ball companies don't compete on performance, they compete on perceived exclusivity. The Pro V1, the TP5, the Chrome Soft, these are status markers. They signal to your playing partners that you care enough to spend. The engineering is real, but irrelevant for 90% of golfers. The real product is the feeling that you're playing the same ball as the pros. That feeling is exactly what keeps the pricing engine running. If you're starting to see the pattern, you're ready for what's next. Clubs and courses operate on the same logic. Subscribe so you don't miss the breakdown of why your $600 putter is mostly psychology. And in the comments, tell us, have you ever tried a Kirkland ball, or does the stamp still matter more than you want to admit? Think about what that means. You're on the first tee. You reach into your bag and pull out a sleeve of premium balls. Your buddy pulls out a box of Kirkland Signature, Costco's store brand, made in the same factory as a major premium brand. You've spent $40 more per dozen for the same core, the same compression, the same distance. The only difference is the stamp on the side. This is where it gets uncomfortable. The premium ball market exists because you feel shame playing a ball that costs less. There's a social risk. What will your group think if you pull out a $12 dozen? The industry engineered that. They created a hierarchy where the ball is a proxy for skill. The truth is, your playing partner doesn't know the difference. They're too busy worrying about their own slice. If you've ever felt that quiet pinch when the cashier tells you the total for a dozen Pro V1s and you mumbled, "Yeah, that's fine," instead of putting them back, you know exactly how this system works. You were sold a story. The story says better equipment makes better players. But the evidence says the only thing that improves your score is practice, and the only thing that improves your wallet is knowing which fees to refuse. Here's the transformation path. 3 rules. First, switch to a mid-range urethane ball from a brand like Vice, Snell, or Encore. Independent testing from Golf Magazine in 2023 found their distance and spin numbers statistically indistinguishable from the major brands at approximately $35 per dozen. Second, buy in bulk. Most direct-to-consumer brands offer discounts at 6 dozen quantities. The per dozen price drops to around $28, which is less than a third of the retail price of a premium dozen. Third, stop buying premium balls until your handicap drops below 10. At that level, your swing speed and consistency begin to benefit from the premium construction. Above 10, you are overpaying for a tool you cannot fully use. Now, here's the session hook. One of those hidden costs, the ball markup, isn't even the most expensive part of your round. In the next video, I'll show you how the same psychological pricing works on the greens, where a $600 putter costs $60 to manufacture, and why the only real difference is how it feels in your hands when you miss. Here's what the numbers actually tell you about your bag. You are carrying around $1,000 of equipment. That driver you bought because it had a lower center of gravity, the irons you traded in because the forged face felt softer, the putter that cost $600 because it's the same mill that makes the putter for the Masters winner. You believe each purchase is an investment in a lower score. The data says something quieter. Golf Digest tested the performance gap between game improvement irons from the year 2000 and game improvement irons from last year. They put them on a robot at 100% swing consistency. The result? A distance loss of less than 2 yards on center strikes. The difference was negligible on miss hits. The forgiveness claim, the sweet spot expansion, the tungsten weighting that your fitter spent 20 minutes explaining, none of it produced a statistically significant difference in real-world outcomes. What did produce a difference? Shaft length, lie angle, loft, grip condition. Not the brand, not the model year. Now let's look at the price curve. A set of Titleist 690 irons, released in the year 2000, cost around $750. Adjusted for cumulative inflation, that same set would cost around $1,300 today. But the current Titleist T-Series irons cost roughly $1,800. That's a 38% real terms increase. The manufacturing process hasn't changed. The raw materials, stainless steel, plastic ferrule, steel shaft, cost roughly the same. The difference is marketing, endorsements, and the fact that golfers will pay a premium for hope. Here's the mechanism. Club companies release a new model every 18 to 24 months. The changes are marginal: a redesigned cavity, a reshaped sole, a new finish. But they call it a generational breakthrough. They spend millions on tour visibility, paying players to put the new club in the bag, even if the old club works better. The viewer sees a pro hitting the new driver and thinks, "That's what I need." The data from MyGolfSpy shows that of the top 50 golfers in the world, approximately 40 switch clubs between models purely for endorsement value. They don't gain distance, they gain a contract. The club you bought because a pro uses it is the same club the pro used for 3 rounds before putting his old gamer back in the bag. If you've ever stood in the fitting bay, hitting 10 different drivers, and felt the excitement of a carry distance that matched the LM screen, then walked to the register and felt that familiar twitch in your chest, you know the system is working. The system wants you to believe your equipment is the bottleneck. It's not. Your technique is the bottleneck, and no club will fix that. Here's the transformation path for clubs. First, buy used. The depreciation on a driver in the first 12 months is roughly 50%. A 2-year-old driver in good condition performs identically to the newest model because the cog and face flex haven't meaningfully changed. Second, prioritize fitting over brand. A properly fit 5-year-old set of irons will outperform a poorly fit new set every time. Third, stop buying forgiveness. Buy consistency. A club delivers the same miss-hit result every time. That repeatability is what lowers your scores, not a bigger sweet spot. Now you understand the first layer. The ball. The club. But there's a deeper one, the course pricing that operates on the same logic. That's the next fee to crack. Here's the evidence. The $35 green fee at the municipal course and the $125 fee at the semi-private club use the same water, the same grass, the same bunker sand, the same flagstick. The difference is a name, a clubhouse renovation that got financed 10 years ago, and the implicit promise that paying more means you're playing a better course. Golf Digest ran a 5-year study of pricing across 420 public access courses in the United States. They found that course condition ratings, fairway health, green speed, bunker quality explained only 23% of the price variance. The rest was location, marketing ambition, and the presence of a premium label on the scorecard. Here's the mechanism. Courses use a technique called price anchoring. They list the weekend primetime rate at $120. Then they offer a Twilight Special at $65. The Twilight Special feels like a bargain. But the actual value of the course, the experience of walking 18 holes on maintained grass, is closer to $40. The $120 rate exists only to make the $65 rate feel reasonable. The same logic applies to the private club. The initiation fee is the anchor. $10,000, $20,000, $50,000. After that, the monthly dues feel small. $1,500 a year for the mandatory cart fee. After the initiation, that number seems like rounding error. But it's the monthly fees that build the club's revenue. The initiation is a psychological gate. The dues are the engine. If you've ever signed a membership contract and felt the relief of, at least it's not the highest tier, you were already caught. The system designed multiple tiers not to offer choice, but to make the second highest tier feel like the smart choice. The actual cost to the club to serve a member at the second tier versus the top tier is indistinguishable. The difference is entirely in your head. Here's the transformation path for course pricing. First, play twilight rounds. The course at 5 p.m. is the same course at 10 a.m. The green fee is often less than half. Second, join a public course loyalty program, not a private club. Most public courses offer unlimited annual passes for under $2,000, less than 1 year at a private club. Third, never pay the posted rate. Call the pro shop and ask for the walking rate, the Twilight Plus rate, the replay rate. Every rate is negotiable, but only if you ask. The system is built on the assumption that golfers will pay without questioning. They engineered the prices, the tiers, the expectations. They built a world where a $100 green fee feels normal and a $200 driver upgrade feels necessary. But the evidence is clear. The ball doesn't know its price. The club doesn't know its brand. The course doesn't know what you paid at the gate. What knows is your bank account and your scorecard, and that quiet feeling of peace when you walk off the 18th knowing you played well, spent smart, and refused to be played for a fool. If this resonates with you, there's a lot more where this came from. Link in the description. Drop "Fool Me Once" in the comments if you've walked off the course proud of a round that cost less than a sleeve of Pro V1s. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the moment, because the next video breaks down how the same pricing play works on the greens, and you'll want that tool in your bag before your next round.